Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is a really fun makeup look day because I'm doing a makeup look inspired by my little dog, Toast. Toast always makes it into the outros of my videos and you guys have requested a Toasty inspired makeup look. So that's basically going to be a monochrome brown makeup look, just playing with all these beautiful textures he has, from the really dark browns and kind of tans and warm browns that are almost red, and then also all the highlights he's got. So he's perfect for a makeup look inspo. So that's the plan for today. Keep on watching if you want to see more. I'm going to start with a really warm and saturated bronzer. This is Danessa Myricks Balm Contour because Toasty is so warm, and this is kind of like that perfect color that he is in a lot of his coloring, that really warm kind of almost orange he's got going on. So just thinking of, yeah, a lot of bronzer for this look. And in general, for like a monochrome brown look, I like the idea of just like really getting it into the skin as well. Going for a little sun-kissed nose moment. Even taking anything left on the brush and stippling it around. Just really pigmented bronzer. Sometimes I forget and then I end up blending a lot, which is okay because it blends really well. For blush, I'm going to use this shade Chip from ColourPop. It's from their Beauty and the Beast collab, and it's a pretty brown blush. So it's, as they say, blonzer. It's got a little bit of the best of both worlds. So I'm going to blend that on this part of the cheek and then work it into the bronzer. So you get that little bit more, bit of kind of pinky red in it than a bronzer, but it's definitely staying still within the same territory. Actually, I gotta pull this blush shade out more. It is very nice. Okay, so my idea for today is to use the Hindash Beautopsy palette. You guys see me use this all the time to kind of help any palette I might need like an extra like deepening shade for or brightening shade, but I want to see if I can get this whole look using this palette to really just show off how multi-dimensional it is too. You know, you've got the light end of it, can start going a little darker, get a little bit more that warm brown he's got, and here as well, and then really dark as well. I think this is such a great palette for like a matte makeup look where you want a lot of options of like increasing shades. And I think I just want to create this like gradient along the whole eye from like light to dark using toasty tones from this palette. So we'll see where it gets us. I'm gonna brighten first with this pale yellow. Toasty's got this really bright shade, and it's hard to say what it is. It's almost gray-ish, but then in other lights it looks kind of like really blonde. I don't know. He's got like all the shades of the rainbow in him. But I think this will work out for the brightening shade. It's my favorite anyway. So now maybe I'll go in this in-between of a gray and a brown for that little bit of gray he's got going on him, but it's like not going super cool tone gray. And this is gonna be my transition shade. I'm just gonna lay that starting there and then blend it through most of the crease. And then anything that's like left over on my brush, just gonna diffuse that out. And then also, if you're doing a look like this that's just focused on a bunch of different tones that are similar, you can get into the blend more precisely later. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on each step. I'm just gonna see where each color kind of takes me. So now I wanna get a bit more warmth into this. So I'm gonna go right in with this shade here, and I'm gonna start wedging that like deeper into the crease. Right in that part where you can feel the bone. Just using this kind of small domed brush to get it in there, and then go back in with this to blend. And I'm going like pretty heavy-handed. I'm not trying to feather this shade out. I'm trying to really let it show. I feel like Toast's primary color like is this kind of medium warm brown. I'm gonna go into this really rich reddish brown right here with a brush that's similar to the one I just used, but like a slightly smaller version. And this is gonna start going on the lid. You can see it has more of that like auburn tone to it. I'm gonna go back to, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna use this shade here that's like the lightest, like tan shade. And that's what I'm gonna put here as like the transition between the brownish tones and then the inner corner. Like with an all matte makeup look like this, I think it's nice to have the whole lid have something going on with it, some tone, some part of the gradient rather than any of it being like blank with just like my skin tone under it. So just making sure to really get this shade here. Now it's sort of about going back and forth between all these tones and starting to get, you know, more of a blend, but quickly before I just like start finessing it, I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade, which is a black. Toasty has black eyes, or really dark brown, but like when I blend it with everything, it's gonna be good to have that darkest shade. So just going to really get that extra bit of depth along the lash line, the upper lash line. So now I just want to, toggle back and forth between things. I know I want a bit more of that rich brown back in there, maybe even dipping it into a darker version of it. That's what's so cool about this palette is you have this gradient where you can just pick and choose this, like the nuances of the shade. So yeah, I definitely want a little bit more depth. The outer corner. Really want it to feel like a brown smoky eye. And then like grabbing that first crease shade, bringing that back in. I'd like to do something similar on the lower lash line, just like getting this movement from the light to the dark. I just want the whole look to feel like very smoky. And getting that darkest shade. Feels very like such like a classic going out smoky eye, but like focusing more on these warm tones rather than like a silvery gray smoky eye. Looks a little dramatic on the lower lash line. I'm not too worried because by the time I put mascara on, it's always feels like it needs more. Feeling like I'm getting to the end, just once again bringing that bright shade back, making sure I've got this real sense of brightness there. I'm gonna go for a bright lash line with this, so Melt Ivory, which looks like Toasty's brighter colors, his highlights. Even taking this a little bit on that inner corner. Yeah, okay, I think lashes are gonna really just add that extra depth and glam to this to make it work. I'm gonna pop off camera, do my lashes, and then do like a gradient brown lipstick, which is gonna be fun. Now let's finish this off with some lips, really mimicking the same thing. I'm gonna start with a dark brown liner and then a little bit more of a lighter brown in the center of the lip. So this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the shade Malt. So this can actually get pretty dark. Okay, and then this is the shade from MAC Derriere, which is unfortunately discontinued. This is a pretty unique brown. Wow, this is very different, very, I don't know, fun. This is fun. This would be great for anybody who's a dark autumn and you can really handle some dark, warm tones. I'm going to do some finishing touches with a bit of powder. I'm so tempted to put a gloss on this just to kind of lift the color, but at the same time, I want to keep it this very matte feel, which I just think makes sense for the look. And this is the finished makeup look. This was really fun. I think it's been so long since I did a full matte makeup look and just really did something kind of smoky. This feels very 90s to me, and I love that it kind of goes with my nails going on and even my hair a little bit. And it's just fun to do something a little different. Like, I've been very into the kind of sparkly, glossy energy, and this is very like sophisticated, smoky woman going out on the town, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very cute. We'll grab Toasty and compare and contrast. Toasty, you know, I think the only thing we're kind of missing is how this shade he's got is just, depending on the lighting, can skew quite almost like yellowy mustard, almost this, you know? So I could, if I tried again, do something with that a little more. But we've basically got this monochrome, dimensional, Toasty makeup look. And honestly, I think Toasty does it better. Toasty, you got it going on. The most beautiful natural coloring in the world. So anyway, this was a fun little exercise. Thank you so much for everyone for watching till the end and for suggesting this fun little makeup look. And until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, witches.